We will resume as the Clackamas County Library Service District Budget Committee meeting on February 24th, 2021. I will ask the Budget Committee members of this budget to please introduce themselves, starting with our volunteer members.
Karen Morey.
Susan Nielsen.
And Nick, you are on mute.
Nick Dirkman.
I'm Marissa Soltz.
And we are just missing Daniel.
Is Daniel on?
I don't see him on yet.
Okay. Should we wait, Gary, or go ahead?
Go ahead.
All right.
please, Chair.
Committee members, I'm going to ask that you pull your microphone close to your face as you speak. It's difficult to be heard with these masks on, so you have to talk louder than you normally would, and sometimes it feels like you're shouting, but you really aren't. What we're going to do is BCC members, do we need to introduce ourselves?
Yes, please.
Commissioner Scholl.
Good morning. Commissioner Mark Scholl.
Paul Savas, Clackamas County Commissioner.
Commissioner Martha Schrader is right here, and Commissioner Fisher is in a meeting and will be joining us at 11:30. I am Chair Tootie Smith. Welcome, everybody. We are going to call for a nomination for chair of this committee. I will accept nominations for chair at this time.
I would nominate Karen Morey as chair.
And do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
The motion has been made to nominate Karen Morey and seconded. I will call for a vote, a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, no. Congratulations to Karen Morey. You are now the chair of this committee. You now have the gavel.
Thank you, Commissioner Smith. Nominations are now open for secretary. Susan Nielsen has agreed to serve again. Is there a nomination for Susan?
I'll nominate Susan Nielsen.
Are there any other nominations? I'm sorry, is there a second for Susan's nomination?
I second the nomination.
Thank you, Marissa. It has been moved and seconded that Susan Nielsen be elected secretary. All in favor say aye. All opposed say no.
Aye.
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 The ayes have it. All right, we now have the presentation of the budget message by Sarah Ekman, our Businesses and Community Services Interim Director.
Thank you. Thank you for all of your work, Budget Committee. We greatly appreciate it. As mentioned, my name is Sarah Ekman. I'm the Interim Director with Business and Community Services, and I'm joined in person here by Allegra Wilhite, our Deputy Director, and on Zoom, Tracy Grambush, our Financial Analyst, who will also be able to assist as we go through this presentation. I'm pleased to present the Library Service District's fiscal year 21-22 budget, which totals $22,973,735. The district is a pass-through mechanism, and the essential function of the district is to take dollars in and send them back out. In 2008, county voters approved the district with a permanent rate of 39 cents per thousand of assessed value. To put that into context, if you owned a house with a market value of $450,000 and an assessed value of $280,000, you would pay $112 per year for library services. The district acts as a fiscal agent to distribute the property tax revenue from the permanent rate to all participating local governments who operate public libraries within the county. In the upcoming fiscal year, the property tax revenue will support the Clackamas County-operated Oak Lodge and Gladstone libraries, as well as 12 city libraries, which includes Canby, Estacada, Happy Valley, Lake Oswego, Milwaukee, Molalla, Oregon City, Sandy, Hoodland, Tualatin, Westland, and Wilsonville. Johnson City is the only area of the county that is not part of the district. 100% of all funds collected are distributed to public libraries within the county for library operations. There's no operating budget, and the district has no staff. The county provides all necessary administrative support to the district for the collection and distribution of the property tax revenues at no charge to the district. The county also provides all necessary administrative support to the Library District Advisory Committee, the Library District Budget Committee, and the Large Library District Task Force. Next slide. I'd like to share a few accomplishments from this past year. We successfully distributed 99% of revenue received last fiscal year. After we sent the final distribution in June to the libraries, we received additional June revenue, but it was in July. The remaining amount was shared during the first distribution of the current fiscal year. As part of the administrative support provided by the county, staff complete an annual revenue forecast for the upcoming fiscal year, revenue to share with the libraries. We completed that in early February of this fiscal year. The final accomplishment listed here is related to the Large Library Task Force. In 2018, the board authorized the creation of this task force, which is sometimes referred to as the Large Library Task Force. The purpose is to examine library funding, services, and governance, and in 2020, staff supported this group by convening the first meeting. The task force was put on hold shortly after the meeting, and that was due to COVID-19. In addition to the accomplishments listed here, we also prepared the annual budget and financial statements on behalf of the district. Next slide. The library district is on track to meet both performance measures this fiscal year. The first distribution of district revenues was sent to cities in late January, and the second was in, the second distribution is scheduled for June. Next slide. So we move into the numbers. We are submitting a budget that is balanced as per Oregon budget law, and resources match annual requirements. For 21-22, we're anticipating total revenue just under $23 million. The vast majority, $20.6 million, is from property taxes. 10% of revenue is due to beginning fund balance, which includes $2.2 million held in trust per the Library District Intergovernmental Agreement, or IGA. The IGA specifies the district shall retain the funds until the county is constructing new library facilities in Oak Lodge and Gladstone, at which time they'll be distributed to Clackamas County to contribute to the project. The current project plan has construction scheduled to start in spring of 2022, so we're planning to transfer these funds to the Oak Lodge and Gladstone budgets in fiscal year 21-22. The two new libraries will operate under the one library, two building model to maximize efficiency, achieve economies of scale, and provide consistent library services for the community. As for expenditures, the property taxes received are budgeted to pass through to the 14 libraries around the county that receive funding from the library district, with a total of $20.7 million anticipated for the upcoming fiscal year. Funds are distributed to libraries based on a formula outlined in the Library District Master IGA and based on two factors: the assessed value of each participating city or jurisdiction, and the percentage of unincorporated residents served by each library as established by the library service area boundaries. The population count of residents is verified every 10 years, and once new population data is available from the 2020 census, we'll update the distribution formula accordingly. The special payments of $2.2 million you see here is the transfer to the county for the construction of the new libraries. Next slide, please. The summary of revenue and expenses provides a summary of year-over-year charges. You can see we had a decrease in beginning fund balance. This was due to the anticipated transfer of funds to Oak Lodge and Gladstone libraries to support construction of new library facilities that occurred in 2021. Overall, we are anticipating a small decrease in revenue. This is due to transferring the funds for construction of the libraries, as well as assuming a lower than usual increase in property tax revenue. In previous years, we have assumed a 3% increase. This year, we're assuming 2.7, which aligns with the guidance from the county assessor's office. We're assuming a lower than usual collection rate and taking a cautious approach in anticipating potential impacts from the pandemic on tax revenue in the next fiscal year. Next slide, please. The library district only has one fund, and the summary you see here shares the same information we just reviewed on the previous slide. As you can see, the library service district receives no county general fund. Next slide. So regarding significant policy and/or financial issues, as we mentioned earlier, the large library task force is on pause due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Staff are in the process of outreach to stakeholders to understand preferences for moving this group forward. We will present results back to the board to determine next steps once the outreach is complete. And this concludes our formal presentation of the budget, and we welcome any questions.
Commissioner Smith?
Thank you, Chair. I have a question. Sarah, you said that your revenues were down a little bit because a lower than usual collection rate on property taxes? Was that correct? Did I hear that correct?
We are anticipating that due to the pandemic, yes.
And what rate decrease is that?
Allegra, do you have that information?
Yes.
So
So
can speak to that.
I don't know if is my microphone on? Perfect. Okay. So every year we typically assume 3% based on the best information that we have in terms of an increase. We talked with the county assessor to see if that would be an accurate assumption going into next year. And based on that guidance, we're assuming 2.7 for this next year. Of course, it could be different. We're all learning, but that's our best estimate at this time.
Okay, that's good to know. I have a question for our budget officers, Sandra and Elizabeth. Are you seeing that same trend for all budgets that are dependent upon property tax collections?
Sandra Montoya, Budget Manager. We are seeing a slight decrease, but it's very small at this point. But in our forecast, we have projected a greater delinquency for the out years.
I just think it's remarkable that the amount of property taxes that have been paid to this date. I mean, if we're only looking at a 0.3 of a decrease, I do think we should budget for that, but I'm grateful to our property taxpayers. And I think if they can't pay it, then all budgets need to be able to adjust for themselves and do the same. Thank you very much. That's all the questions I have.
Thank you. Any of the other commissioners?
I'll just want to comment. This is an odd budget because it's just really passed through. So meaning that if whatever monies we get split up by formula. And so there's really, the city libraries or the cities are the ones who really get that distribution, and the exception of the Oak Lodge Gladstone scenario. But it's, whatever comes in, whether it's high or low, gets distributed out by formula.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay. I'm now opening the public hearing. Is anyone physically present to testify? Is there anyone signed up on Zoom to testify?
Thank you very much, Chair. Now is the time for public comment on the Library Services District budget. If any members of the public would like to comment on the Library Services District budget, please utilize the raise hand feature on Zoom now at the top or bottom, depending on your device. If you're on the phone, and we do have someone on the phone, you can hit *9 to raise your hand. Seeing none, Chair.
Thank you, Dylan. Hearing no comments, the public hearing is now closed. Any other questions from anybody? Wow, nice job today. All right, it's now time for the motion. We do have specific language that needs to be read as printed, so I'm going to ask Susan to make the motion as distributed to the citizen members.
I move that the committee approve the 2021-2022 budget in the amount of $22,973,735 for the Clackamas County Library Service District as presented or amended, and impose the district's maximum permanent rate of $0.3974 per $1,000 of assessed value within district boundaries.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Actually,
Aye.
I will go ahead and call a poll.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, you have to poll? Okay, thank you.
All right, so we'll go with Marissa Soltz.
I approve it. Aye.
Okay. Nick Diggerman,
Aye.
Let's see, Susan Nielsen,
Aye.
Chair Maury,
Aye.
Commissioner Scholl,
Aye.
Commissioner Schrader,
Aye.
Commissioner Savas,
Aye.
and Chair Smith.
Aye.
All right, nobody's left to be opposed. Thank you very much for passing the motion. And I pass the gavel back. That was a nice, nice concise meeting.
We will adjourn the meeting of the Library Service District. I want to thank all of our committee members who showed up here in person and online to participate. That's very important. I'd like to thank staff for your presentation as well.